two records were set. First, women's champion Dina Drawson set a course record with a time of 48 minutes and 14 seconds. Secondly, more than 7,500 people finished this year's race. We'll hear from the winners coming up in First 4 Sports. Now, if you ran the race and you want to see how you finished in the Gate River Run, log on to our web channel, newsforjax.com. We have a link there to all the River Run information. New on the Night Beat, a teenage boy is in the hospital after he was hit by a car in Orange Park. Investigators say it happened around 4 o'clock on Blairmore Boulevard West. The boy was riding his bike when officers say he crossed the car's path. He was airlifted to Shands, Jacksonville. Investigators say the driver was not at fault. Florida Highway Patrol troopers are searching for the driver who hit a man, then kept going last night along Chafee Road near Crystal Springs. Troopers tell us they've found the blue Chevy S10 pickup involved in that hit and run, but they still do not have a suspect. Troopers say 22-year-old Justin Gayhofer was walking on the side of Chafee Road when the truck came up from behind and hit him. Tonight, Gayhofer remains in critical condition. If you have any information about this hit and run, please call the Florida Highway Patrol at 695-4115, extension 252. Also new on the Night Beat, a devastating accident today in Chicago. Investigators there say scaffolding from a skyscraper fell to the ground, killing 3 people and critically injuring 4 others. They say the scaffolding fell from the 43rd floor of the John Hancock building. The people killed were crushed in their cars. Wind gusts of up to 58 miles an hour were blowing at the time, but fire department officials say it's not clear yet if the high winds caused the accident. More emotional testimony today regarding Andrea Yates, the woman on trial for drowning her 5 children. A pediatric pathologist testified that Yates's 5 children died slowly, each struggling and gasping for air as she drowned them one by one in the family bathtub. Dr. Harry Lee Wilson used a doll to show how the children struggled for at least 3 minutes before losing consciousness. In testifying for the prosecution, Dr. Wilson said Yates showed an element of deception when she drowned her children. Yates has pleaded innocent by reason of insanity. After 10 hours of deliberations, a jury in Atlanta has found a former 60s radical guilty of killing a sheriff's deputy.
On count 1 murder, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
H. Rap Brown was found guilty today of killing a Fulton County Sheriff's deputy and wounding another deputy in March of 2000. Brown is now a Muslim cleric and goes by the name Jamil Abdullah Alamin. The jury will have to decide if the 58-year-old will get life in prison or the death penalty. More unrest in the Middle East. Israeli missiles have destroyed an office building of Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat. The assault came hours after a double attacks by Palestinian militants on Israel. In the first attack, a 9-month-old Israeli girl was killed and more than 30 were wounded by 2 gunmen in the seafront town of Netanya. The suicide bomber blew himself up shortly after in a crowded cafe in Jerusalem, killing 12 people, including himself. More than 100 Palestinians and at least 35 Israelis have been killed in the last 7 days. Operation Anaconda is entering its 2nd week. Here are the latest war briefs tonight. Afghan allies say hundreds of Taliban and al-Qaeda fighters are holed up around 2 cave complexes. They're said to be running low on ammunition. Bad weather, landmines, and rough terrain are hampering the offensive. Meantime, the number of Americans hurt in the offensive is now up to 50. And Defense Secretary Rumsfeld says the end of Operation Anaconda is a matter of days, not weeks. 2 soldiers with local ties were killed in that operation. Visitation for Sergeant Bradley Croce of Orange Park will be from 4 to 8 o'clock tomorrow night at Rivermead Funeral Home in Orange Park. Funeral services for the soldier will be Monday morning at 11 o'clock at Pinewood Presbyterian Church in Middleburg. A viewing for 30-year-old specialist Mark Anderson of Tampa, whose parents live here in Jacksonville, will be tomorrow at Anderson McQueen Funeral Home in St. Petersburg. Services for Anderson will be Monday morning at St. Raphael's Church, also in St. Pete. The astronauts of the Space Shuttle Columbia have finished their work. Astronauts released the Hubble Space Telescope this morning after 5 days of repairs in the shuttle's cargo bay. Mission Control told the crew the telescope is in awesome shape because of their work. Hubble now has better solar wings, a new power unit, and a better camera for seeing deeper into the universe. And astronauts made a record-tying 5 spacewalks to repair Hubble. Columbia is due back on Earth on Tuesday. Get your tickets ready. We will have your lucky lottery numbers next. Here's a look at what else is ahead. He was nowhere near New York City on September 11th, but the San Marco photographer will play a role in tomorrow's TV special about the attacks.
I'm meteorologist Eric Brate. We've got a large storm system moving into the eastern part of the country. How will it affect our weather for the rest of the weekend? We'll talk about that coming up.
And I'm Daryl Hawks. March Madness really isn't supposed to start for another week or so, but we saw some madness on the hard court today as some top seeds went down in conference play. We'll have the highlights coming up for you on First 4 Sports as Eyewitness News continues.
This year, you'll take out the trash 52 times, mow the lawn 30 times, wash the car 18 times, and kill the fire ants 6 times? Unless you use new Over and Out. Unlike other fire ant killers, just one application of Over and Out eliminates fire ants from your entire yard and keeps them out for an entire season. Guaranteed. New Over and Out, the once-a-season fire ant killer, from the makers of 7.
Hi, I'm Tina Gordon, driver of the Sticks and Stuff race car. Right now at Sticks and Stuff, all those beautiful sofas are $2.99. That's right, all of them, only $2.99. Queen-size sleigh beds are $1.99. At Sticks and Stuff, this 5-piece dinette is only $149. Recliners are $99, and this entertainment system is $79. Can you believe that? $79 at Sticks and Stuff, where we always beat their price. Jacksonville on Beach Boulevard at Parental Home Road and Orange Park on Blanding.
I kind of dabble in electronics on the weekend. But like most people, I have what you'd call a termite problem. So I invented this little beauty. It will identify, pinpoint, and destroy all termite species.
Here's a better idea. More homeowners trust the Terminex Unlimited Lifetime Protection Plan featuring Centricon. 1-800-TERMINEX. No bugs, no hassles.
They were there when all the shouting started. They were there when we celebrated. And they were there when we mourned a national tragedy. They stood at our side and made us stronger.
To all of our sponsors, thank you for being there.
Thank you for going all out.
Which will prove longer lasting? The ageless creations of nature itself, or the enduring craftsmanship of Andersen windows? Only time will tell. Andersen Windows. Long live the home.
Eric Brate has the seal of approval of the American Meteorological Society.
Last week, most of us were cuddled up on the couch in sweaters and blankets because it was so nasty outside, and this week everybody's outside. It's gorgeous.
It has been an absolutely gorgeous day. Maybe a little bit on the warm side for the river run, but overall, can't complain. We did make it to 80 degrees. We were talking about getting up to the 80-degree mark, and that's exactly what we did. Let's take a look at the numbers from today. One word, beautiful. And even 80 at the airport, 77 along the coast. We expected it to be a few degrees cooler there. Average high for this time of year, though, 72 degrees, so we were doing pretty well. A little taste of spring today. I hope you had a chance to get outside and enjoy it. As the sun went down, the clouds began to roll in. High clouds ahead of a cold front, and that cold front is going to cool us off as we head into the second half of the weekend. 67 degrees by tomorrow afternoon. That after temperatures bottom out in the middle 50s. We will see some clouds early tomorrow morning, but I think the skies should clear up, and by tomorrow afternoon at the very latest, we're going to see plenty of sunshine. It will be a little breezy tomorrow, though, so be prepared for that. Otherwise, another gorgeous day, just a little bit cooler than today. Overnight lows, we're talking about temperatures in the 50s. The coolest spots are going to be off to the northwest of Jacksonville, around Waycross, Valdosta, Homerville, places in southeast Georgia. That's where the cool airs come from. You folks are going to see the cool air come in first, and so you're going to be the coldest down toward St. Augustine, Palm Coast, and Palatka. Temperatures there are going to be the mildest overnight because that's where the cold air is going to have the hardest time getting to. 63 degrees at the airport right now. Dew point stands at 62. The air is pretty humid, 97% humidity. Winds are out of the west right now at about 6 miles per hour, and we do have the clouds rolling in. Here you can see the effects of the cold front. 60 degrees right now in Macon. Go over to Montgomery, Alabama, 53 degrees. Meridian, Mississippi, a very cool 46. That's where the cool air is coming from. And yes, it's going to make it into our neck of the woods. It's not going to get down to 46 degrees, obviously, tonight. Oftentimes, ahead of cold air, we get showers. These used to be thunderstorms, but they are dying out pretty quickly. Approaching Lake City right now. They've passed through Live Oak. And if they make it to McClenny, we'll be lucky. I think these are going to die out pretty quickly overnight tonight, so most of us are going to be pretty dry. You can see on the satellite and radar composite as these storms do come in, they die out pretty quickly. And all we're really going to see, like I said, is the cloud cover from them. And the cloud cover should be gone pretty rapidly. The entire storm system stretches from north to south through the Great Lakes, where it's bringing some snow and some pretty heavy rains even this evening throughout the Northeast. But again, the dynamics of this storm are well off to our north, and that's why we're not seeing much, if anything, from all this. What we will see is, again, the cool down for tomorrow. This cold front will be making its way through, and as we head through the day tomorrow, we're going to see our wind shift from the southwest today to the north. It is going to be fairly breezy as high pressure begins to set in to North Florida and southeast Georgia. Skies, again, will clear out tomorrow afternoon, so we're looking at a pretty beautiful day, but we will see a small craft advisory flag come out tomorrow because of the winds. North 20 to 25 miles per hour out in the open ocean, 5 to 7 foot seas, about 3 foot surf, and inland waters will be choppy. Your UV index tomorrow, moderate at about a 6. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:45 to 7. Sunset around 6:30 tomorrow evening, and your high tide will be around the dinner hour. Low tide around the lunch hour. Here's your exclusive 7-day planner. Temperatures in the upper 60s tomorrow afternoon. Should see a fair amount of sunshine later on in the afternoon. 10% chance for rain. Stacy, I put that in there because we might see some overnight, but tomorrow will be dry. You can leave the umbrellas at home. And for the most part, for the rest of the week, things look pretty dry, with the exception of Tuesday, about a 30% chance for rain.
Looks like a great week.
Yeah,
we'll
good
take
forecast.
It.
Nice and mild.
Thank you, Eric. Tomorrow night, CBS will broadcast what's being called the Zapruder film of the September 11th terrorist attacks. It is the only known video footage shot from inside one of the World Trade Center towers during that day. During tomorrow night's broadcast, one local photographer's work will also be shown. He calls it one of the most emotional assignments of his career.
My background is actually computer engineering.
Paul Figuera has photographed everything from boxing gloves to perfume bottles in his 9 years as a professional. His specialty, however, is portraits, and he put his passion to work last week when he was asked to photograph area law enforcement officers for CBS's Sunday night special on the September 11th attacks.
They wanted to honor people, bring to light that, so much attention's been put on New York firefighters and New York rescue people, that there's people in your neighborhood every day putting their lives on the line for you.
Figuera wanted to photograph the officers in their everyday settings. There's a Florida Highway Patrol trooper on a rural road, a group of St. Augustine firefighters dressed and ready to go. Figuera says every year or so he'll get an emotional assignment, one in which he has to hold back his emotions while taking pictures. This was one of them.
They really are almost cavalier, it's not a big deal to save someone's life, and maybe it is, and they didn't want to show it, but they said it's just a job, and that to me was amazing.
Figuera's pictures, along with the photographs of 80 of his colleagues, will air during intermissions of tomorrow night's broadcast of 9/11. The show will air from 9 o'clock p.m. to 11 p.m. tomorrow night, right here on Channel 4. There are big dogs and little dogs. Then there is the smallest dog. Meet Dylan the Papillon coming up next. Here's a look at what you can expect tomorrow morning on Eyewitness News Sunday morning.
Stacy, we have a preview of a local orchid show for all you with green thumbs and a one-on-one visit with Sarah Ferguson. We'll tell you what the Duchess of York is up to these days. All of that tomorrow morning at 8. Stacy?
We are proud to cover Arlington, Bay Meadows, and Callahan. Here are more of tonight's winning lottery numbers.
Can you stump Sam with a question about the Players' Championship? Enter now at news4jax.com and you could win a week-long field pass to the Players' Championship on Channel 4 the week of March 10th.
Cut your phone bill in half. Introducing Supra Telecom. The same Bell South network, the same telephone number. The difference? Your bill. Compare. Same everything. Call waiting, voicemail, the whole shebang. Bell South, Supra Telecom. Half the price. Hey, it gets better. For business, Bell South, Supra Telecom. Almost 1/3 the price. Unlimited internet? Now we're talking. Supra Telecom. Save your money. Don't give it away.
Johnson steps out of the batter's box and calls time. We've all seen this ritual before. X is bad. Now's the... He could be here a while. He steps in, and he's called time again.
The Time Cutter Z from Toro. So maneuverable, you can cut your lawn in half the time it takes with other mowers. So you won't miss out on the things you enjoy.
The beauty of the game, folks. There's no time limit.
Another smart idea from Toro.
Do a lot of grocery shopping? Introducing Winn-Dixie's Customer Reward Card. Get your card and spend $200 between now and March 31st. And you'll receive a Hormel Cure 81 boneless ham. Or a Butterball turkey breast. Or a $10 gift card free. Plus, receive money-saving discounts every time you shop. So sign up for your card now and reward yourself every day.
So, how are you going to keep fleas off your dog this year?
Only Advantage stops flea from biting in less than 5 minutes and keeps working all month. It's the fastest relief you can buy. Get Advantage from your vet. Don't give fleas a biting chance.
German engineering. With offers this good, now's the perfect time.
Channel 4 is a proud sponsor of the Bob Hayes Invitational Track and Field Meet. Join us on March 15th and 16th at Rains High School.
Finally tonight, meet Dylan the Papillon. He is the smallest dog in Britain. Dylan only weighed 2 ounces when he was born, and at 2 weeks, his mother almost squashed him when she laid right on top of him. Now at 10 weeks old, he weighs, look at him, 1 pound. His owner says that despite his size, Dylan is exceptionally lively and energetic. That looks like a kitten.
That is extremely small, smaller than the lady's hand.
And likes shoes, apparently. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
First Four Sports starts right now.
From WJXT News Channel 4, this is First Four Sports.
Hi, everyone. I'm Daryl Hawks, and thanks for joining us on another busy day and night in the world of sports. We begin with the 25th anniversary of the Gate River Run, which turned into quite a race for some of the country's top competitors. 9,000 people took part in the National 15K Championship that started at 8:30 this morning, as you can see here, under extremely humid conditions. The country's top runners and many novice runners from right here in Jacksonville didn't let the weather get to them as they made the 25th year of the River Run a record-breaking one. Men's defending champ Meb Kefliki was the favorite coming into the race, and he quickly showed why. Kefliki was on a record-setting pace throughout just about the entire race and nearly broke the men's course record when he crossed the finish line. He did come away with the second fastest time ever at the River Run, finishing with a time of 42:49, and he also finished with his second straight 15K national title.
Oh, I didn't know that I was going to be the second fastest time ever, but I just ran for the win, and it was a great time. And I've been training altitude, and you know, it's paying out for me. And it's first is God-given talent. You know, it's a really God-given talent. I just want to maximize it to the best that I can.
Dina Drawson had the best day ever for a woman at the River Run. The defending champ broke the course record and also broke an American record with a time of 48:14, becoming the first woman to win 3 straight River Run titles.
It was fabulous. It just gets sweeter each time. The competition today was unbelievable. They put together a fabulous field, a number of national champions out there, and it was going to take a fast race to win today.
Along with the record-breaking finish on the women's side and the second fastest time ever on the men's side, the River Run as a whole also broke a record today. That's because more than 7,500 people crossed the finish line, which is the largest amount of people to ever finish the race in River Run history. As far as local runners are concerned, Jerry Lawson of Jacksonville, he was the fastest men's time with a time of 46:14, and Kim Paul Wellick of Jacksonville Beach was the fastest top local women's finisher with a time of 52:54. Well, coming up next, we'll talk about where the Gators basketball team could end up in the NCAA tournament, and more importantly, what they need to do to get their team back on track. Plus, it was a day filled with upsets and buzzer beaters as conference play took part all around the country, and we've got their highlights right here on First 4 Sports coming up next. Stay with us.
It's time for unbeatable deals only at your Florida Jeep dealer. Right now, own a Jeep Liberty two-wheel drive starting at just $20,835, or get a $2,500 cash allowance or 0% APR on Jeep Grand Cherokee. Plus, Jeep brand's 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge. Visit your Florida Jeep dealer.
What happened?
I thought he said a potato was coming.
Tornado? Why would I say a potato was coming? Jack, were you on a cell phone?
Yeah.
It's the cellular static. Here, Sprint PCS built the largest all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network, so you won't have any of these misunderstandings.
Bullet, come here.
Looks like things are clearing up already.
4,000 minutes for $39.99 from Sprint PCS.
When your walls talk, what will they say?
Something on the bed. One fell off and bumped in. Happy anniversary!
I can't believe it's been 25 years.
How about a toast?
Enjoy no payments and no interest for 1 full year at Haverty's weekend sale. And give your walls something fantastic to talk about.
Hey, you, welcome back. How did everything go?
Great.
Well, I'm glad you're back.
It's great to be home.
It has all the right lines and curves, sculpted to turn heads everywhere you go, even the beach. Introducing the special edition Ron John Chrysler PT Cruiser, dressed up with ground effects, fog lamps, and custom wheels, with a look that's definitely Ron John. And you get a merchandise package to match, all for under 20 grand. The special edition Ron John PT Cruiser, turning heads at a beach near you, only at your Chrysler dealer.
The SEC Conference Tournament has been a wild and rocky ride, and today the roller coaster continued as Alabama tried to make their claim on a #1 seed in the upcoming NCAA tourney, and Mississippi State tried to advance to the title game that just about no one thought they would be in. Let's take you out to the action where we see LSU taking on Mississippi State in the semis. First half winding down, Dogs with the big steal. Derek Zimmerman turns it into a three-point play. It was 31-28 Bulldogs at the half. Late in the second half, Mississippi State clinching to a 2-point lead. Marcel Patterson with the running bank shot. The Bulldogs win 57-51. They are in the SEC title game. In the second semifinal game, it was Alabama versus South Carolina. Game tied at 57. Former Wolfson High standout Kenny Walker with the big follow on the miss. He had a three-point play for the Tide. Walker led Alabama with 21 points. The Crimson Tide win 65-57. They will face Mississippi State for the SEC title tomorrow afternoon. The second-ranked Maryland Terps were pretty much a lock to win the ACC title game, and that was until today when they took on NC State in the semis. There you see NC State with a big play, and the Terps going for the tie here. Drew Nicholas comes up short. Juan Dixon will get the board. He can't find a shot, and he's just going to end up throwing it away. NC State would end up missing both free throws. Dixon gets one last chance, It's going to be no good here as NC State is going to upset the #2 team in the nation, ending their 13-game winning streak by a final of 86-82. The Terps will still most likely be a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament, though. In the second semifinal, Duke versus Wake Forest, the Duke Blue Devils led the whole way. They go on to win by a final of 79-64. They will face NC State tomorrow for the ACC title. Another basketball action today, the top-ranked Kansas Jayhawks delivered a brutal beating to Bob Knight's Texas Tech team. Let's take you and show you some highlights of some of the other action that was going on. There was a Big 12 semifinal that was rocking today. Texas Tech here versus Kansas. Bobby Knight not happy with his team because they were not playing well. Wayne Simmons with the block for Kansas. At the other end, watch Chris Hendrickson. He'll step up, stop, drop, and what does he do? Oh, yes, he pops the three-pointer. Kansas blows out Texas Tech 90-50. The 40-point loss was the worst loss for Bob Knight since back in 1998 to Michigan when he was at Indiana. Meanwhile, the Big Ten tournament, Knight's old team, Indiana, was facing Iowa. Here we see Luke Ricker with the big three-pointer. That would tie the game at 60, and then he had a buzzer beater in their last game. He gets a buzzer beater here with less than a second on the clock. Iowa goes on to upset the Hawkeyes. Who would believe it? Iowa wasn't even ranked, and now with a win tomorrow, they can go on to win their conference title and make it into the NCAA tournament. We'll have to wait and see when their championship comes up tomorrow. Cincinnati won the Conference USA title, giving them a good shot at a #1 seed in the NCAA tourney. Arizona won the Pac-10 title. Xavier grabbed the Atlantic 10 title, and UConn won the Big East title in double overtime over Pittsburgh today. Well, it looks like for the Florida Gators, they will most likely be a #4 or possibly a #5 seed in the NCAA tournament. The Gators killed their chances of possibly being a #2 or a 3 seed when they lost to Mississippi State last night in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. Right now, the Gators really can't be concerned with anything other than just improving their basketball team because they've got some major problems that definitely need to be fixed before they go into the 64 tournament. The Gators have now lost 4 out of their last 7 games, and the only way they can turn things around is to shoot the ball better, pick better shots, and most importantly, keep their most important players out of foul trouble. We'll find out exactly where the Gators and the rest of the 64-team field will end up tomorrow during the NCAA tournament selection show. All the answers you ever wanted to know about this year's tournament field will be answered right here on Channel 4 beginning at 6 p.m. Coming up next, we'll hear from the Jaguars head coach Tom Coughlin, who gives us an off-season update on running back Fred Taylor. Plus, the term Johnson & Johnson now becomes a threesome in Tampa Bay. We'll explain that next, coming up on First 4 Sports, so stay with us.
This year, you'll take out the trash 52 times, mow the lawn 30 times, wash the car 18 times, and kill the fire ants 6 times? Unless you use new Over and Out. Unlike other fire ant killers, just one application of Over and Out eliminates fire ants from your entire yard and keeps them out for an entire season. Guaranteed. New Over and Out, the once-a-season fire ant killer, from the makers of 7.
At Carpet & Drapes, you'll find the best selection of quality flooring, exclusive warranties, and guaranteed lower prices like these. Save on DuPont Stainmaster Carpet, the standard for stain and soil resistance.
This is one sale you don't want to miss.
Carpet most bedrooms for just $240 installed. The whole house only $1,125. Large houses only $1,350. Or big old houses for as little as $1,800. You'll get free measuring and low prices always at Carpet & Drapes, your Carpet One dealer.
This sale won't last forever, so hurry in now to one of our 4 locations or call for our at-home service.
Denise Kaiser, Florida mom, West Palm Beach Belle shopper. What business schools call multitasking, you call routine. And so for you, Denise, we've got something big planned. The Belle's Days Sale, featuring things like ladies' dresses from $19.99, men's Boca Classic shorts and tops for $19.99, and save on shorts, tops, and tanks for the entire family. Enjoy. You've earned these prices.
11 years ago, Rooms to Go didn't even exist. Today, we're America's #1 furniture company. Because from day one, we've given you what you want. Low prices, lots of great-looking furniture, quick delivery, furniture buying made easy. And now for our 11th anniversary, we have challenged our suppliers. We've told them to beat our savings expectations so we could beat yours. And they came through. Plus, you can pay in September 2003. So hurry to Rooms to Go because the challenge is on.
The Amazing Race returns March 11th, and Jacksonville's own Chris and Alex are the team that could take it all. Cheer Alex and Chris on at 4UTV and every Wednesday night at 9 on the one and only Channel 4.
The TPC at Heron Bay was visited by a couple of Herons today during the third round of the Honda Classic. Mike Weir, the Canadian, will stick his approach shot here on number 11. Weir is currently tied for the lead midway through the third round, but there are a lot of predators lurking, as you see here, as much of play wasn't able to be continued due to darkness. They'll continue the third and hopefully complete the fourth rounds of play tomorrow. After 4 unsuccessful years in Buffalo, quarterback Rob Johnson is now a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. New head coach John Gruden is hoping that Johnson will compete with QB Brad Johnson for the right to throw the ball to receiver Keyshawn Johnson. Rob, which we'll probably have to call him from now on so we don't get confused with all the Johnsons, signed a 4-year contract and says he's excited about joining the Buccaneers. The Jacksonville Jaguars began their outreach campaign this week designed to bring them closer to their fans, which they hope will also help them sell more tickets and prevent future blackouts. While doing this, owner Wayne Weaver and head coach Tom Coughlin also have to decide whether to match the contract offer the Saints offered to cornerback Jason Kraft on Thursday. Kraft is a restricted free agent, meaning the Jaguars have 4 more days to match that offer, which they did not say whether they would or would not do. One thing that Coughlin did talk about is the current health of running back Fred Taylor. The former All-Pro back only played 2 games last season due to injury, but Coughlin says he is doing fine now and is almost back to 90%.
He's working hard. He's a tremendous off-season worker. He's focused on, as I say, we're not using the word rehab. We're just the off-season program and getting in great condition. And he started early, which he always does. So hopefully that'll all pay off.
We shall see. Before we go, we want to let you know that Florida, Florida State, JU, and UNF all walked away with baseball victories today. We'll have more on that tomorrow. Until then, I'm Daryl Hawks. Thanks for watching. You have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow night on First 4 Sports. Bye-bye.
Sledge grab it mitts. Does it grab it? It grabs the dust. It holds it. Your hand is the tool. It picks up the dust, hair and dirt, getting into the cracks, the crevices. These little corners. Sledge grab it mitts. Grab it! The dust is in the mitt.
Heartburn? Give me a cold one.
Introducing Tums Cool Relief with unique Freeva crystals. It gives you an immediate, cooling, soothing sensation in your mouth and throat. You can feel the chill while it knocks out heartburn fast.
I could really use a cold one.
New Tums Cool Relief with calcium. Feel the difference.
Tired of crawling around on your knees or doing endless sit-ups? Introducing the revolutionary Ab Energizer system, featuring 21st century technology that's a simple, easy way to help firm and tone your abs without breaking a sweat. And it's also great for your lower back, buns, and thighs. The secret is Ab Energizer's electronic impulses that stimulate your abs so they contract and relax as if you're doing a sit-up. Now you can get up to 700 muscle contractions in just 10 minutes and get the tone and definition you've always wanted.
I've gone from a waist 37 to a waist 34.
Work out your abs anywhere, watching TV, at the office, even around the house. Why spend $120 for a single unit product? With the double unit Ab Energizer, you get 2 modes and 10 settings to maximize your workout. Call now to order the complete Ab Energizer system for just $59.95. It includes the Ab Energizer belt with 2 units, tightening gel, meal plan, instruction guide, and carrying case. You also get a free 30-day supply of Diet Energizer with its fat-burning formula. If you don't lose at least 2 inches off your waist in the first 30 days, return it for a full refund. To order, call now.
Clog got you bent out of shape? Get Drano Max. Drano Max removes clogs better than professional strength liquid plumber because it's thicker. Relax, you got Drano Max.